Hello everybody and welcome to Dumm Engineering. I'm Justin Dumm and today I'm joined by Anthony Joya. Since it's the holidays, Anthony, I hear you have a present for me.
I do, Justin. Here you go.
It's a digital multimeter. My company issued multimeter. This was locked in my car. How did you get it?
Happy holidays, Justin.
You really shouldn't have. Today we're going to be discussing one of the most important tools for an electrical engineer, the digital multimeter. Digital multimeters allow the user to measure different electrical values in a system. Anthony, can you tell us a little more about the different measurements?
Yes, so some of the common things that we measure with multimeters, although they're always different, is AC voltage, DC voltage, current, continuity or resistance, temperature, and diodes as well.
So on each meter, you have a selection dial to select whatever mode you're looking at. You can only look at one property at a time. So Anthony, I've switched to AC volts. Can you give me the primary side of the power supply? We're using a power supply because it has a different incoming voltage type than the outgoing. So on the primary, we can see that we have 117 volts, which is approximately the 120 from the wall outlet, with a little bit of change because sometimes power isn't exactly 120. So now if we switch it to DC, can you please go on the output? Now you can see that we have 24 volts DC. If you use the wrong selection for measuring, then you're going to get strange values that don't make any sense at the time. So Anthony, how would we measure current with one of these meters?
So current is different than voltage. With voltage, we typically, we put the probes across two different potentials. When we want to measure current, we actually need to unplug a wire, connect it to one of the probes, and then connect the other probe to where that wire would be landed, thus making a loop, and that allows us to measure current.
So we break the circuit and we put it in line with the current so it can flow through the meter.
Yes.
So next is continuity. So whenever you're testing an electrical system, after you wire something, you want to make sure that it's right so you don't accidentally damage the system if there's an issue. For continuity, you check if there's a low resistance between 2 points. So these two terminal blocks that are wired together will ring because they're connected, but this third one that's completely separate from the other two will not ring. That's part of our standard testing procedure here at Premier, and every wire that we install gets tested as such. So next we have temperature. Anthony, can you explain to us how we measure temperature on a meter?
Yeah, so we use a device or connector that is a thermocouple. Thermocouple is an electrical device that allows us to measure temperature. So we plug it right into our probe here, making sure that we have the red and black in the appropriate spots. Whenever doing any type of switching between modes, it's very, very important that you consider where you are putting your leads as well.
And while you might not know it at home or at work, I can assure you that it's at least 75 degrees in here like it says.
Go ahead.
With this meter, it has two different fuses in it, one for amps and one for milliamps and microamps. That way we ensure there's proper protection based on what we're reading per how we selected it on here. It's also always important when using a meter to verify your units. So some things like voltage will change the units based on their magnitude, but other ones like current, you have to actually select between a couple options. If you don't have the right one, then you're going to get, if you measure something really small, you might just get 0 on your meter. And it's also important to remember not to blow your fuses or to check that they aren't blown in the future if you suddenly have problems measuring current. So Anthony, thanks for coming on the show and helping us better understand digital multimeters.
Thank you for having me, Justin. A happy holidays to you, a whoop-de-doop and a dickory dock.
Happy holidays from all of us at Premier Automation. See you next time on Dumm Engineering. You are not going to be invited back now.